It had been a shrewd move by Constantine for his throne. Archbishop Selach, holding his hands above Constantine's bowed head, as he knelt before his coronation stone, St. Comsill's stone as he now called it, brought by Domnall from Tara, his lords and warriors pledging themselves that the laws and disciplines of the faith, and the laws of churches and gospels, should be kept pariter cum Scotis, that is, the Picts' rights and responsibilities were the same as those of the Gaels. Everyone knelt to Constantine. Even those once loyal to Greogair. Which Osric thought was incredible. Constantine had all of Alba before him, politically organized on the model of Findlaith, in the Gaelish style of devolved power with himself as Tau Isaac. Most Norse had gone and the kingdom called Inglaland, Alfred's dream, did not even exist. He could so easily have marched south and claimed what he believed in his heart to be the natural territory of Pitland, the land to the wall. And Osric would not be unhappy. This land included Bibbenberg, and Elfric still lived, as did her other brother named Utad, the baby born to Osric's mother Jaitha, who had killed her. He did not go by that name, though, her other brother, one which Osric did not know. He had left Bibbenberg, in search of lands in Tby very far south. He may even be dead. Did Elfric even care? He had done all he had done to Utad, tried to have him returned so he could be murdered. For what? What was legacy, if he had no son of his own to inherit Bibbenberg, anyway? The night had come early, or so it seemed. They would be leaving at first light, Edra and Osric, with her old friend Gert, who was now captain of a fleet of fishers, and the only craft that could sail uninterrupted from the Forth to England's south coast. And Sained was accompanying them. Constantine had broken the news to Osric the night before, when he had found her in the stables, preparing her horse. He had sought her company and they had woke into bright sunlight in the hay loft, creeping back into his own castle. He had taken her departure well, on balance, Osric thought, and now he had called her to attend him in the throne room. Domnall's throne room. Osric would ever think of it, and she wondered whether they knew of the secret passage behind the wall, where once she had secreted herself, and heard the grave news which had driven her to Wessex and Utad in the first place. Last night he had been accepting of Osric leaving with Edra. But now, as she pushed open the oak door of the throne room, Osric knew he was angry. Angry about what? Osric didn't know, but she had a feeling she was about to find out. Guthard, he shouted at her. Guthard did not come. Osric knew he was talking about Scone and the Mormers, and, too, he blamed her that Cumbraland was now not part of Alba. It was barely a part of Northumbria, one of the last areas of the whole larger British Isle to bow to neither Constantine, through Strathclyde, or Guthard representing de Ruetioflic, nor even Bernicia through, presumably, Elfric. But Osric had never agreed to marry Guthard, no matter what the Caoligwell bishop, Eardred decreed on paper. Most of the time, Constantine chose to believe her. This was not one of those times. Guthard was weak. Constantine raged. He had to prop up his army with Danes and Norse, taking tribute from Bibbenberg. This made him Elfric's bulwark. No divisions. That was Constantine's code. It had been Sained MacAlpin's code, too. There can be no divisions, Constantine concluded, fury still in his words, and Osric considered she may be only one of two people Constantine could speak to like this, who would understand its implications. And, mentioning Guthard, he knew it would drive Osric to anger, and he wanted an argument with her, because he wanted to part on bad terms so he could accept she had left for Wessex with Edra. It was not like the last time. But still, Constantine was angry. I will marry no one, Osric asserted. And not Guthard. I did not marry him then and I will not now, so you can lay claim to Cumbraland. You can have Bernicia to the wall if you wish, to the Tyne if you want. I will happily lead an army to Bibbenberg and defeat my uncle. Why attempt to take what is difficult in the west when I can give you easy lands in the east? I know what he did to your brother. Constantine's mood was black. Is that why you will not go? No. Osric shot back. I care for my brother to the limit God's requirement of me. If he had done to you what he did to me, you would know I don't care. Yet, that wasn't true. The times Finan had awoke next to her, fighting in his sleep against a long-ago captor, begging for food and water, begging for rest. Osrith's heart had melted to nothing when she heard him toss and turn, fighting the slaver. If Ute had suffered as Finan suffered, then she did truly feel sorry for him. She knew this was all about Osrith telling Edra away from him, Edra, who he thought of as his true own daughter, who he had betrothed to Ildub, against the model of the Gaelish royals. Espionage, isn't that what you want? You want to be with your brother. A union of Ida's line to reclaim Bibbenberg, Constantine bore down on her. And you would use my army of which you speak for your own gain. I? Shouted back Osrith. I would use you for political gain? I merely wish to show a dying man his only daughter. She crossed to go, but Antine, who had now turned his back to her, her hands on his folded arms. You are her father in every other respect, Constantine. And, she thinks so, too. It was true. Osrith had watched them speak to one another and was utterly astonished. The child, spoiled though she was by Constantine, she spoke Gaelish to Ildub and Selark, indistinguishable from their own speech. She spoke Anglish with Osrith's accent and was, like little Neil Glundube at 5, schooled in both English and Latin, where her monk tutors were amazed at the 5-year-old's good behavior and remarkable progress. You are to spy, that is the least I expect, Constantine concluded, with the same tone he had used a few days before to condemn a man to hang for stealing bread. Sainid is to go with you. He is under orders to kill you and bring Edra home should you not return by 12th night.